So with LeapSeed 6, one of the things we really wanted to focus on was usability, introducing things like AJAX behaviors, improved layout, some speed improvements, and so we're going to go through these. We're going to start with the data manager AJAX improvements. We're very happy with the end results here. We think we've saved people a lot of screen refreshes and things of that nature. So, what I have right here is a LeapSeed 6.0 installation and a prior LeapSeed 5.0 installation. So let's do duplicate checking first. If I go to the people section and I want to add someone, first, before you get to the full screen, you type in whatever fields are configured as duplicate fields. And if there's a duplicate, you get the screen, saying, hey, there's a duplicate. Otherwise, if you type in a name that doesn't trigger a duplicate, you get the full field. You get the full fields, and you can continue to enter things. The one issue with this is there's a couple issues. One, if you're a developer and you're building custom layouts for the people section, you have to worry about how the layout looks with a subset of the fields and the full ones. And from an end user experience, it just takes it's just an extra screen. So we've implemented new AJAX behaviors where now the duplicate checking just happens behind the scenes. If it detects a duplicate, it tells you. Gives you the same option to override. But if there's not a duplicate, then it just goes on its merry way. But there's no intermediate screen. So overall, especially for contact management, where where duplicate checking is important, but you might be entering a lot of contacts in, this certainly saves time. Inline subsection refreshes. This is one that I'm very happy that we have in version 6 as well. Essentially, whenever you're in a section with an inline grid, such as this, in prior versions, I'll shrink the browser a bit to demonstrate this. If you wanted to resize the grid, it has to refresh the whole page. And well, it's not awful or anything. It does mean that if you've slated things like file inputs, if you've already specified files and things like that, those can't automatically refresh. Those can't automatically be refilled out when you refresh. So if I decide to refresh the grid in the old version, well, I have to enter that in. With LeapSeed 6, refreshes of subsection grids are now done via AJAX. So let's say I enter a file. Again, put in my last name. Go to education. Scroll down a little bit. One, you'll notice it's a little less disruptive when I resize. It doesn't jump me to the top. It just stays right where it needs to be. And if we look at primary information, this is still filled out because the grid refresh is happening independently of the rest of the interface via AJAX. It's a feature. It's an update that we've been asked to do for a while. We're really happy we got it into LeapSeed 6. I'm sorry, went a little ahead of me. Just a couple other AJAX things. The ability to save searches and delete them is now done by AJAX as well. If we go to the old version and say go to the let's go to the section administrative tools. And let's say we have a data manager search. If I click save, let's say my saved searched. It's not awful or anything, but it does take you to the top of the screen. It requires a refresh. If you've done an expensive search, that might take a little bit of time to conduct. And then you go to the home page, and you can certainly use your search whenever you want. And then when you delete, once again, causes a whole screen refresh and your dashboard has to reload. In the new platform, we go to sections and let's do the same thing. Do a data manager section type, and let's go ahead and just save a search. Boom, saved. You can just go about your business. You don't have to. There's no screen refresh. It doesn't jut you up one. Just very, very convenient. And likewise, if you wanted to delete a search, we have our dashboard. Let's fill out a couple things here. If we just went ahead and click remove, doesn't refresh the screen, isn't disruptive at all. It's just an AJAX behavior now. So, adding and editing searches, adding and removing searches, just much smoother than they used to be. Then we also have just the ability to add and delete exports. So, let's stay in the section Administrative Tool. If we run our Data Manager search again, and let's say we want to do a custom export, and we select a few fields. Then we want to save our configuration. Click Export Configuration, and okay, my new export. In this case, it has to reload the page. That actually did it really fast. It's not obvious, but that wasn't an AJAX refresh. And likewise, if you wanted to, if we can, you can see all your saved searches here. But if you want to delete your saved search, again, it's another full screen refresh. Which is, okay. I mean, again, it's not a huge productivity loss or anything, but it could be a bit smoother. So with LeapSeed 6, let's do our search. Let's go to Custom Export. I'm going to select some fields. See some new field grouping features that's also part of LeapSeed 6. And let's save the export. Let's say my new export. And just a quick AJAX behavior, and it also dynamically updates the list as well in the same thing. So if I did export, if I decided to do a couple other things, see it's being built. So much smoother. And if you want to delete, again, this is all AJAX based. It doesn't refresh the screen. You can delete and add without any screen refreshes. So just some tweaks that just make the interface that much easier and nicer to use. And the final thing as well is we've implemented AJAX based deleting in our tool sets as well. If we go to, let's say we open up our clippings tool and our RSS tool in the old on the old site, and I'm going to. There's actually a lot of news items there. I probably should have picked a more well, this is fine. It just shows it. It's fairly speedy. So I'm going to select these items, and if I want to delete them, I can. But it does, it takes some time to do. But it's going to process it for us. But then, it takes us to the top and kind of breaks us away from what we're doing. Maybe we kind of wanted to crawl through the grid and, selectively delete a few things. In the new tool, let's go to our clippings tool. Let's run another all search. Oh, that's faster. Yeah, we did improve the speed on the grids as well, so that's not too surprising. If we delete a couple things here, no offense to the people I'm deleting, it's just, I'm just picking things at random. Click delete. Does a little AJAX call. And they're gone. So, you can now continue on your way. You could delete a couple more. Delete. And, the first delete call to AJAX is always a little slower than the others. Now that the page is running, it's, pretty fast. Don't get me wrong, you should never, you should always, you shouldn't be too quick when you delete stuff. You should think things through. But the great thing is that you don't need to be refreshed. You're not jutted to the top every single time you delete and get broken out of your process. Deletions through the results page are now handled through AJAX, which makes everything that much easier.